Finding a new job these days, it can feel like a job in itself, right?
Absolutely.
It's a jungle out there.
Yeah.
But thankfully, there are tools like this role catcher we're diving into today that promise to make it all a little bit easier. Sort of like having a whole career coaching team in your back pocket.
hmm
From what I'm seeing, it's free to use too, which is always a good start.
Definitely. And essential these days, honestly, when you consider how much the job market relies on, well, algorithms and systems now.
You're right. It's not just about who you know anymore. It's about whose software knows you exist and likes what it sees.
Exactly. That's where RoleCatcher seems to really come in handy.
Yeah, let's unpack that a bit. I'm looking at the website for it now, and they've got a whole bunch of features listed.
Right. It's pretty comprehensive.
Jobs board, resume builder, even an employer database.
Yeah, it's like a one-stop shop for job seekers.
Where do you even start with something like that?
Well, I think a good place to start is always your resume, right? It's your first impression.
Makes sense.
And that's where RoleCatcher's CV and Resume Builder comes in. It's not just about formatting. It's about optimizing your resume for those applicant tracking systems, those ATS we were talking about.
Oh, you mean the ones that scan your resume for keywords before a human even lays eyes on it?
Precisely.
So how do you even begin to make your resume stand out to a robot?
Well, that's the beauty of RoleCatcher. It helps you identify the specific keywords that are relevant to the jobs you're targeting, and then it helps you integrate them naturally into your resume.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not just about stuffing your resume with every buzzword under the sun?
No, not at all. In fact, that can actually hurt you. It's about showcasing the skills and experiences that truly matter for that specific role. It's about speaking the AI's language, essentially, so that your resume gets seen by the right people.
I see. It's like tailoring your message to your audience, but in this case, your audience is an algorithm.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've got your perfectly keyworded resume. What's next?
Well, then comes the cover letter, of course. And guess what? RoleCatcher has an AI feature for that, too.
Hold on. AI can write cover letters now.
You bet. It's called Copilot AI, and it's pretty remarkable.
Okay, I'm intrigued but skeptical. How can an AI possibly capture the nuance and personality that makes a good cover letter, sing?
Right, I get it. You'd think it would sound robotic.
Mm.
But that's where these advanced language processing models they're using really shine. It's not just rearranging words from your resume. It actually analyzes the job description, picks out the key skills and requirements, and then weaves those elements into, well, a narrative.
So it's actually understanding the context.
Exactly. It's pretty amazing to see in action, actually. But the best part, I think, is that it frees you up to focus on the stuff that AI can't do. You can add those personal touches, anecdotes, specific examples that really bring your personality to the forefront.
It's like having a really good first draft ready to go so you can spend less time stressing about the words and more time just being yourself.
Precisely. And that's what makes you memorable.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. So it seems like this role catcher thing is all about, working smarter, not harder. Would you say that's accurate?
100%. It's about leveraging technology to your advantage so you can focus on what matters most, putting your best foot forward. But it doesn't stop there. They also have this whole interview prep module.
It's like having a secret weapon for your job search.
It really is.
Okay, so we've talked about how RoleCatcher helps you put together a killer application.
Right.
But what happens after you hit send on that perfectly crafted cover letter? Does RoleCatcher just peace out?
Not at all, actually. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, now you've got to tell me more.
Remember how we talked about how AI is changing the way companies find candidates? Well, RoleCatcher kind of flips the script.
Flips the script. What do you mean?
Instead of you searching for jobs, what if the jobs could search for you?
Hold on. Is that even possible?
With RoleCatcher it is.
Okay, I'm listening.
So you build this dynamic profile on the platform, right?
Yeah.
Like way more than just your average resume.
Right.
You put in your skills, your experience, your career goals, even things like your preferred work environment.
Yeah.
Then if you opt in, this profile becomes visible to companies who are using RoleCatcher to find talent.
Wait, so you're saying I could just be out there living my life and suddenly, boom, dream job alert?
It's not magic, but it's pretty darn close.
So it's like instead of me being one resume in a sea of applicants,
Right.
I'm suddenly an asset they're actively trying to track down.
Precisely.
Okay, that's kind of a game changer.
It is.
But wouldn't that only work for super specialized fields or, I don't know, CEOs or something?
That's a common misconception, actually. It's true that those kinds of high-level recruitment processes have been using these methods for a while. But RoleCatcher makes it accessible to everyone.
Interesting.
It's all about skills matching.
Yep.
Companies need people, and they need the right people, and RoleCatcher just streamlines that whole process.
So instead of just hoping for the best, I can kind of proactively steer my career in the direction I want to go.
Exactly.
Wow, this is a lot to process.
It is. But that's not all RoleCatcher does.
Seriously.
They also have all these resources to help you actually map out your career trajectory long term.
So it's not just about finding a job, it's about building your career.
Exactly. And to illustrate that, they have this great example in the materials we were looking at
Oh, yeah.
about the career path of an audiology equipment shop manager.
Okay, not gonna lie, that doesn't sound like the most exciting job in the world.
Maybe not, but it's a good example of how RoleCatcher breaks down this path, any path, into these manageable steps.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
So maybe you start as a shop assistant,
Yeah.
right? You're learning about the products, interacting with
It's
customers.
entry-level stuff.
Right. Then you move up to sales associate, where you're using that knowledge to actually, make sales.
Makes sense.
And then finally, you've got the experience and the skills to be the manager.
So they're not just throwing you in the deep end, they're giving you the tools to, like, build your way up.
Right. And the best part is RoleCatcher actually provides specific guidance for every step of the way.
Get out of here.
I'm serious. It's all right there on the platform. Sample interview questions for a shop assistant, then different ones for a sales associate, and so on. It's like having a roadmap instead of just a map. You know what I mean?
Okay, that is actually really cool.
It is. And that's just one example. They have these guides for tons of different fields. Whatever you're interested in, chances are RoleCatcher can help you figure out how to actually get there.
This is blowing my mind a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. It really is incredible how technology can completely change the game when it comes to something like job hunting, you know?
It levels the playing field in a way we haven't really seen before.
And it's not just about finding a job, it's like you said, taking control of your career
Exactly.
and being proactive, right?
100%. It's about recognizing that learning and development shouldn't stop once you land a job.
It's got to be a lifelong thing.
Exactly. It's a mindset shift. Your career path, it's not going to be a straight line.
It's more like, what, a jungle gym or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
There's going to be twists and turns, unexpected opportunities.
Speaking of unexpected, this whole thing we've been talking about, with jobs searching for you,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty wild when you think about it.
It really is like something out of, sci-fi movie or something.
Right. But it's becoming our reality.
And it all comes down to data, really. Algorithms getting so sophisticated that they can connect the dots between, like, a company's needs and your unique skill set.
So the more information you put out there, the better the chances of finding the right fit.
It's like, those dating apps everyone's always talking about? It's kind of like that.
Career matchmaking. Exactly. Except instead of finding your soulmate, you're finding,
Your dream job.
Exactly.
And a lot less awkward small talk, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So for anyone listening who's maybe, I don't know, feeling a little lost in the job search wilderness,
Yeah,
what's the one thing you'd want them to take away from all of this?
honestly. Just to remember that you have more power than you think.
Okay, I like that.
It's easy to feel powerless when you're sending out resumes and, like, never hearing back.
Oh, tell me about it.
But tools like this RoleCatcher, they're proof that the game is changing. You have options.
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, explore those options, see what's possible.
Exactly. You never know what you might find.
Well said. This has been an incredibly eye-opening deep dive.
It has.
So glad we could explore all this together.
Me too. And for everyone listening, don't forget to check out our next episode where we'll tell you all about it next time.
Until then.
See?